Hello, welcome back. In this session, we will see about spy, and what we are going to learn is what is a spy and difference between Mockito and a spy, and one sample example, and how spy is working. So let us see. Spy is like a spy objects record information about how they interacted. And second one is they are also termed as a partial mark. Means spy is partial to mark. If you do not want to use mark, you can use as a spy. So what spy is doing is, if you are working with spy, means you are ultimately you are doing as a spying of the mark. So that is the reason it is calling as a partial mark. Then what is the difference between this Mockito and spy? So here, when Mockito creates a mark, it does so from the class of a type, not from an actual instance. That means when you are using mark, it is creating the mark like it's a class of the type, not from the actual instance. The mark simply creates a bare bone shell instance of the class, entirely instrumented to track interactions with it. On the other hand, the spy will wrap up on existing instance. It will still behave in the same way as the normal instance. The only difference is that it will also be instrumented to track all the interactions with it. So the mark, this is the difference between the mark and spy. So here you can take the example here, like what we have taken: public test, public void, and test annotation at the rate test annotation, and one small list you are taking list and array list, and list is the instance, it is a string type, and we have defined one more list that is a string type and spy list. And here we are doing mockito dot spy of this list object is passed here. That means this spy is again acting as like a this instance, and you are adding spy list dot add. Normally list dot add we will use as per the collections framework, but here we are adding list spy list dot add, because spy list is the instance from here mockito dot spy, because we are spying. So it is a spied, means actual instance is this one, but it is a spied of this one. So spy also working like a mock list only. So mockito dot verify spy list dot add one, add two, and when we are calling as it equals to spy list dot size, and you will get the two. So that is the reason a mockito spy is a partial of the mock. Now you understood. List, array list we defined, and normally we have to do list dot add, but since we are spying, so spying dot add of one, spying dot add of two, like this it would be called. So even though you are defining mark, but you are spying as a mark, that is the reason it is calling as a partial mark. So here a Markito spy is a partial mark. We can mark a part of the object by stubbing few methods, while real method invocations will be used for the other. So here we are stubbing like add method, whatever the methods are, it is coming to the spy list, because we are spying this one. By saying so, we can conclude that calling a method on a spy will invoke the actual method unless we explicitly stub the method, and therefore the term partial mark is perfectly suitable. This is how we are calling as a partial mark. Then if you see the internal structure, how the control will be going. So you are writing as a test case, and you are going to interact with the book service, and from there it will interact with the books repository, and from there it will interact with the database. Here we are spying also, book repository spy. So test class will interact the book service, and the book service will interact with the book repository. Between database and the book service, here we are spying. So if normally ideal scenario, our JUnit do not want to interact with the original database. Instead, what it is doing, if we are not interacting with the database, it is a spying. So that is the reason book repository, it is spying. That means it is a partial mock. If you are not using a original thing, and still it will behave like a original object. So that is the reason book repository spy. So here we are spying this one, and book repository is the spying, and the spied response will be sending to the book service, and service will be sending the spied response to this test class. So this is how spy is we are using, but in real time projects and all, very rarely used spy. Instead we are using a mock. So since we are having mock, then there is not much necessity of creating the spy, because spy is nothing but a partial to the mock. So partial mock we can consider. So here this example clearly indicating that if there is no database connection, still it will spy it, and it will provide the response. This is about the spy. In our next sessions, we will see about other things. Till then, thank you.